Hello, and welcome to Simulacra Studio presents the first episodes of Trinity Continuum Aeon Luna Rocks. I am your story guide, Scott. This is the first, like I said, the first episode of our Trinity Continuum Aeon game. It is based primarily a lot on some material that I've been working on for a Nexus supplement called Beyond Electric Dreams, which is in the process of getting ready to be released. So look for that. It deals with a lot of youth culture and music and art and a lot of things that didn't exactly get covered or brought forward from the first edition into the Trinity Continuum edition that I have a passion for. So I figured I might as well write a book about it. So that's kind of the genesis of this game. I'm going to go ahead and bring on my players. Hello, say hi, everybody.
Whoa!
All right, well, let's go ahead and go around the table, as it were, and introduce yourselves and tell us your characters. We'll start with let's start with Puka.
On the spot.
Yeah, on the
Hello.
spot.
I was so glad it wasn't me.
I'm Puka. Any pronouns, but I prefer they, them. I'll be playing Mycelion, who is a lunar colonist descendant DJ with a penchant for shrooms and fiddling with tech.
All right, and let's go to Diane next.
Hi everyone, I'm Diane. I'm playing Frankie, your resident princess disaster mob daughter bitch, favorite singer of this bang band, as it were. And I am excited to get my pink hair on.
All right, fantastic. And what about Mario?
All right, I'm Mario, he, him. I'm playing Edward. He's a performance artist over at the Bang events. He is kind of a shady motherfucker with a good heart for the most part.
Sounds good. And Murphy.
I'm Murphy. They or she are both fine. I'll be playing a character named Hannah, who's kind of a scene hanger-on, at least to start, and just a generally helpful person, a generally helpful runaway.
All right. So to note, none of the characters are scions or have any obvious powers, at least not yet. But they're just living their lives in the underside of Olympus on Luna. To it, we will begin. The camera starts as many sci-fi stories do in the starry expanse. It zooms down to the city of Olympus on Luna. It's bristling with domes and skyscrapers. But the camera continues to move down underneath the surface of the moon, where we come to a fast-moving maglev train as part of the grand public transit system of Olympus, the big city on the moon. We move through the various cars until we center in on one. It's a very full car, and there are two general types of people in this car. There are very worn working class dock workers who are wearing sort of like jumpsuits and working clothes. They work in the underside, the downside dock, where they move a lot of ore and biomass in and out of the city. The other part is taken up by much more colorful, generally a little bit younger, club gear wearing kids and young adults. We pan through this car, everyone kind of minding their own business, the two populations trying their best to ignore each other. And we zoom in on the mini-comp display of one of our heroes. And it is displaying a digital ticket for an event. This event is taking place in a Bang club called the Clamshell, located in a docking bay that has been bought out and totally refurbished. The event is being advertised as the Pools of Infinity by Muzian Divana Marti. And there is a note that says, "Come dressed to get wet." So who is looking at their mini comp? Who's examining your ticket right now? All right, so it's going to be Hannah. Go ahead and describe Hannah for us, and what is she wearing? What are they wearing for the club? We can't hear you. You're,
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I'm probably not as flamboyant as some of the other people I'm with. I'm wearing a faux leather jacket, just over a brightly colored tank top, and kind of mousy hair and similar pigtails. And I believe she's about 20, 21 years old, and got some nice stomping boots for if the floor gets slippery.
all right. So who is just next to Hannah? Who's looking over Hannah's shoulder at the display here?
I'm standing right there. Kind of tall at 5'11", wearing a narwhal onesie that kind of lights up with the hood back a little bit. He's kind of just going through his pockets while he's looking at the ticket, be like, "Oh, can't wait till we get there. Can't believe we got these tickets." Kind of fumbling with everything, making sure I had everything for the show.
Cool. And who is he talking to when he says that?
I am telling Frankie and Hannah.
Okay, so let's move over to Frankie. What's Frankie? Describe that her and what she's wearing.
Frankie probably opts to stand, as Frankie is likely in her bathing suit. She has no qualms. She would show up half naked, but she probably wouldn't make it out the door. She is in a two-piece. It's very revealing. She has about a fishnet shirt over the top of it and a little black mini skirt underneath that. Instead of sandals, she does pair them with reasonable combat boots. And her hair is actually done up very similar to this, big curls, big pigtails. She is currently leaning on one of the bars on the monorail, and she's kind of looking over, and she looks down towards the invite, and then over towards Puka, and kind of like tilt her head, and she goes, "You in over there? You awake?"
Mycelion is not awake, or at least semi-awake, maybe. Not really paying attention to much of what's going on until Frankie gets their attention. At which point they kind of glance over and look at the invite, like, "Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be awesome." They're rather petite by comparison with most of the others, and wearing sort of an iridescent shapeless thing inspired by some kind of psychedelic jellyfish, I suppose. Lots of like little things, little protrusions.
All right. So you guys, chit chat, go back and forth. The car comes to a stop. It's not quite your stop just yet. It's a couple stops down the line. And some people get off, some people get on. There's generally some general shuffling as the cars sort of rearrange themselves. Sorry for that. But after the car gets moving, one of the doors in between the cars, up at the front of the car, opens, and a couple of people move back from that car into this one, and they start just sort of slowly making their way through the car. I would like a larceny roll from everyone. So with Story Path, it's skill first. I tell you the skill that you roll, and then you can select which of your attributes that you want to roll. Generally, there'll be one that makes sense, but if you want to sell me on one that's a little off kilter, then I'm willing to hear it.
Or do you want to go for like a mental attribute or a social attribute?
Mental or a social probably would be most appropriate. I think cunning would be kind of the standard, but if you want me to, I will flavor what information you get based off the type of attribute that you pair it with.
I would like to argue for presence, as in I am disarming enough for them to slip up.
Okay, all right. I'll deal with. I'll allow it.
And I was thinking manipulation because I know how to read people.
Okay,
I was going to go with cunning.
sounds good.
100% fine with cunning.
Okay, all right, go ahead and roll those dice. You're looking for 8s and above.
And
10s re-roll,
Awesome.
and they keep
So-
re-rolling.
I got 3 successes.
Okay,
I also got 3 successes.
Well, I'm still rolling. I have 6.
6. Okay, so Hannah, Massilian, and Narwhal, Edward, you all recognize that the thieves for this car have arrived. It's the ones that are assigned to this car. They're moving their way. Obviously, they move through, and you watch them at the front of the car, and you see that they're taking various tactics. Some of them are being pickpockets. Other them are sort of shaking people down. Looking for security fees. So they're all kind of taking different tacks on extracting some yuan from this car. Frankie, you know that these are obviously the thieves, but when you sort of like throw your hair in just the right way and get eye contact with one of them, you recognize them as one of your dad's crews. So they are about a quarter of the way from the front of the car. You guys are near the back, so you all know what's coming. So I want to know what strategy you all are going to take, because they're eventually going to get to you.
Frankie kind of holds a hand out. I got this. And she just kind of steps to the front of her group and literally leans back and crosses her arms over her chest and is staring down the obvious leader of that group, of that posse.
Okay, so you're just staring there. Is anyone else taking any action, or are you all just filing behind Frankie?
As soon as I saw some criminals, I just looked to Frankie and following her lead. Well, I'll get to the back of the group.
Edward or Mycelian, you guys taking any particular actions?
I figure she's got it, and I'm just sitting there being like, oh, I know they're coming. They're not going to get my stuff.
Can I actually? I want to watch them to see kind of what are they pickpocketing? Are they?
Yeah. You can see as you're looking that they're doing their rounds. Some of them are pickpocketing. Some of them are getting in people's faces. Others are trying various scams here and there. They're taking a multi-pronged approach to extracting the wealth from this car. So are y'all just going to wait for them to get it and intercept Frankie?
Yep.
All right. So it takes them about 5 minutes to get to the back of the car where you guys are. And, you are, Frankie, you're just dead staring at the leader. You know this guy's name. It is Vinny. And he is not highly placed in your dad's organization, but, he's highly placed enough to run a crew like this. And you just sort of put yourself in his path. And he says, he kind of looks you over and says, Miss Frankie, what are you doing in a place like this?
Going places, seeing things.
Great.
This is
Well,
me and mine. She gestures to her group.
these are
And
yours?
she looks at him knowingly.
Well, last I heard, you were living outside the umbrella, so we're gonna have to ask for a security fee.
Really?
Really? Hey, choices have consequences, little miss.
I suggest, if you value your position where you're at, to move the fuck along.
All right, I'm gonna need a command roll from you if you're gonna try and intimidate this guy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, most definitely. Sorry, grabbing my sheet. Do I have any dirt on this guy?
Nothing jumps out at you, and he's just a basic operator. I mean, You could have dirt on him with a bit of dramatic editing and the like, but
Gotcha. No, that's fine. Will my striking looks apply?
sure, it'll apply.
Okay, cool. So 3, 8, 10. 1, 2, 5, 6. And one more. 6.
6 successes? Holy shit. Yeah, you just laser stare at this guy, and he might be technically correct about your status amongst the protective umbrella of your family, but he just sort of like takes a couple steps back, looks over to his guys, and like he doesn't talk to you. He talks to like one of his workers, and he says, "All right, we're done here. No, it's not worth it. Let's head on to the next car, guys." And they kind of like give him a look up and down, but they don't make any noise to counteract him. And he steps around your group, and the rest of his men follow him.
She kind of gives a smirk and kind of like ruffles the hair of the last one. Good choice, Vinny.
He kind of like he looks like he's about to say something, but then he just like punches the door the button that opens the next car, and they all sheepishly ruffle through. And the car continues to move on its way. There's 1 or 2 more stops left to go. You guys aren't harassed or bullied in any way further, but the car stops at one of the loading dock levels, and there's two passageways that lead off of this. One is like loading dock 37A, and the other is labeled the clamshell. It actually looks like once you get sort of past that first door, it doesn't look like a very big room. It just has like an escalator that goes up. And there are people lining up, sort of like queuing up to get onto that escalator. And eventually you guys make your way up, and you see this sort of large, empty, flat area. The walls are lined. One of the walls is lined with a bunch of lockers, and there's some attendants who are just going up and getting people, biometric keys to open specific lockers. All these lockers are free for the evening. Attendant comes up to you and says, "All right, well, there's a changing area over there if you want to get into something that's a little bit more conducive to water. This is going to be a very wet event. Lockers free of charge to put any valuables, anything that you don't want getting wet in there. And we will be opening the doors in 15 minutes. Any questions?
No, I think I'm good. You
I
guys
like to be
good?
surprised.
All right. Well, she sort of hands you a little pad where you can put your thumbprint on, and then it activates a locker on one of the walls.
You guys get in a locker? Anyone?
I'll go put my coat in a locker. I'm gonna keep my my fanny pack with various personal effects in it, but
Yeah, I mean, and technology is such that you could have like printed out a specific one that's waterproof. It's very
Yeah.
easy to do that. They do ask you all to take your shoes off and store them.
That's fine.
And while you guys are sort of waiting, getting your stuff stored away, going through your things and making sure that you don't have anything you absolutely don't want to get wet, you guys start to hear over by the changing area, some raised voices start to make their way over to you. It sounds like there's something of an argument or maybe a fight going on, but there's just a lot of people, so it's not easy to pick out like what's going on.
She cuts a glance over towards, forgive me, I'm still learning character names. Is Mario? Your character's name is Narwhal? Yeah, you're muted. Yeah. Well, she cuts a glance over to Narwhal and she's like, think someone's already getting into a fight. The show hasn't even started yet.
Like, aren't we all here to have a good time? What's
While they're
going
doing
on
that,
over there?
I'm gonna try to creep closer just to get a listen and a feel for what's happening.
Okay, it's not
Same.
hard. Like, and people aren't really like people aren't like getting in your way or anything. Anyone who gets closer, you start to hear a lot of voices, like sort of angrily declaiming, like saying you should get the fuck out of here. We don't put up with that shit here. Who the fuck sent you here? Like just a lot of voices talking, and then there's three voices that are just sort of like very stoically, sort of responding. Saying what appears to be like canned phrases, like "We have every right to be here. We got our tickets the same as you. Please stop bothering us. We're here for our own reasons. Please stop. We don't need this. We're not here to have a fight." And it's just sort of like this sort of back and forth, but there's just a lot of voices being very angry at apparently a small group of people.
I want to try to understand who the people who are the ones who are kind of providing the canned responses, who seem like the not the aggressors are. I have a skill trick, cold read. Is that something I buy with success? If I
You would buy with momentum. You have to
momentum.
spend
Okay,
the
which we don't
momentum.
have. Yep.
And momentum is you guys have a pool of 5 momentum equal to the number of 4 momentum equal to the number of players. And momentum for all of its uses has to be approved by the table. So if you want to spend that, you'd have to ask the table to spend that momentum.
I think for now I'm just going to try to get a beat on who they are and
Okay.
why they're being harassed.
All right. That's going to be a culture roll.
Damn it. Okay. I go culture cunning.
Sure.
That's never going to happen again. 3 10s in a row.
Oh boy.
Oh, last one was a 2, so I got 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. You listen to them for a little while, and you actually recognize, just from their voices and sort of their cadence, this is you recognize sort of like the Midwestern American accents. You recognize kind of the trained, dealing with socialists and undesirables tone of sort of trained people who are trained to be in confrontational situations. These seem like sort of very, very proud FSA people who are here to cause trouble, but not cause trouble. That sort of thing. And as you get closer, you actually notice that while the 3 people who are there are very like smartly dressed, they are not like flamboyantly dressed, but it's very sort of utilitarian. But they are significantly younger than everyone else here. They're kids, and they have like these stacks of like transparent plastic that they're like handing out or trying to hand out or trying to put up on the walls. And while meanwhile they're just getting bombarded with hate.
So wait, the FSA, the proud FSA folks are the ones putting plastic up on the walls?
Yes. And basically the rest of the crowd is like telling them to fuck off.
What's the plastic on the wall say?
You're gonna go and try and get one. They haven't been able to put up much, so you would have to get closer to them to try and get your hands on one of them.
Oh, yeah. Frankie raises herself up to all of her 5-foot frame. Well, that was with her boots, so more like 4'11" now. And she just kind of like not so much muscles her way through, but she cuts glances at people and she makes her presence known as she like goes over to put her nose right in this middle of this trouble like she does so well.
Okay. No one on the angry side is fucking with you because you look like you belong here. So you're able to just maneuver your way up, and like, do you like try and pick one off the wall? Do you like take one that's being handed to you? How do you get one of these?
She like walks up and she goes, "What is all this hullabaloo about?" And she just reaches out, much like she owns the place, and snatches one of these plastic things and looks at it.
It says so. It's kind of like an advertisement. It's like a little poster, and it says Muzzy and Bang is for deviants. Check out some real bang at the Silver Nugget. Bang for patriots. Bangs for real Americans.
She kind of laughs and then she kind of like looks at the crowd and she goes, "Well, they got one thing right." And she like kind of waves it. "Deviants, right?"
People kind of laugh. But yeah, they just seem to be like stone faced and not really caring what you or anyone's saying. They're just trying to get this shit out onto the walls and into hands and just in front of people.
She looks at everyone. "Look, they're misguided. Let them be misguided. We all know what's real, what's not real, and what's in and what's hip. Let them do their thing. We all got a side hustle. Maybe they might learn some things."
Give me a persuasion roll.
Boy, persuasion.
Is anybody else doing anything? Are you? I mean, you're able to get your hands and see what the hullabaloo is about and see the situation. Was anyone else taking any actions or doing anything?
Yeah, I'm going over there too, just because it's three people getting picked on. At first, I'm concerned about them and tell them like, oh, it's these type of assholes.
Yeah, once you go out, because I'm like FSA Patriots.
I was gonna try to calm some of the, agitated crowd down a bit. Be like, yo, just be cool, be cool.
Okay. All right, that'll be a
Like,
persuasion roll as well.
all right.
I got a 4.
Okay.
Does my striking looks apply?
Yeah, it'll apply.
I get 2 more dice. Oh yeah.
Persuasion and
It's 2
presence.
enhancements, I think.
Yeah, it's 2 enhancement. Very few things give you more dice in the system.
4 with 2 enhancement.
Oh, that's good. Sorry, I'm sorry, Mike. Did you what'd you get?
Persuasion plus something.
Yeah, I mean presence would be appropriate, but yeah.
Work with that. 2 successes.
2 successes. Yeah, Frankie's doing a lot of the work here. I mean, she's doing that, but you chip in, and you're able to sort of disarm the crowd, and like get them to stop yelling. No one's really like fans of these guys. Like no one's gonna be friends with them. But you've de-escalated this scenario.
Are any of them? Are they all kind of clumped up together, or are any of them kind of by themselves trying to put up their flyers?
They seem to be pretty clumped up. They're moving kind of like as a unit, and not trying not to get as far away from each other. But if you're paying attention to that sort of thing, I want you to give me an empathy roll.
Sure. Can I go? I mean, unless otherwise stated, is cunning okay for this kind of thing?
Cunning is fine for like perceptual
Perfect.
stuff.
That's 4 successes, but I have the keen sight edge.
Okay.
So if I'm watching, can I use that to add the 1 enhancement?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah,
Cool.
they're together.
So that's 5.
They're together, but you sort of like just sit and watch them for a while, and you see that every once in a while, one of them will look over to a specific area, and just like very briefly look over like they're checking on something. And it seems to be a pattern with all of them, is that they're looking at it like they're looking at the other side of this sort of antechamber, and just looking at something that's not a part of their group.
when they look like they're not looking over there, I'm going to try to find what they're looking. Basically, I'm going to wait till they're distracted by Frankie talking to them, and then I'm going to try to figure out what they're checking on, what they're waiting for.
Okay. How many successes did you get?
I had 5 total.
5 total. Yeah. Yeah. You track them, and they are looking at another person. They're looking at someone who is about their age, and is dressed. They look like they're dressed a little bit more appropriate for this scenario. But it's just a person that's out in the crowd waiting to get in.
I'm going to make note of them and keep my eye on them.
Noted. So around about the time you've de-escalated everything, that's when sort of the lights change, and like some markers on the floor start to sort of indicate that people should be getting into various lines. And it's all very sort of an organic way of organizing people. Most people get it. Those that don't get sort of politely ushered away from certain areas. And about a half dozen mounds from the floor rise up, and you realize that the floor that you are on, although it seems like very sort of like durable plastic, is actually BioWare of some sort, because it shifts and shapes its form to this sort of open clamshell-like contraption, where you kind of realizing where the club is getting its name. And people start to mill in one at a time, and when they get into them, the clamshell closes down on them, and then there's sort of like a deformation of it, and then it opens back up. And people just start to mill into these half dozen clamshells, which is apparently the doors opening up.
Nice.
Before we get into a line, I'm actually going to try to discreetly get y'all's attention and just point out the other person. I think he's with those guys. I don't know what they're up to, but
yeah, you're able to point him out right before he heads into one of the clamshells. It looks like he was like very strategically placed to be right near one of those things.
Can I use one of my gifts there and try to use Politico and see if I can get a read on this guy?
Not yet. He has literally just been sucked under. So you're going to have to try and find him again in order to get a read on him.
Okay.
But yeah, so the lines are moving pretty quickly.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, is it one person at a time, or can a group go in a clamshell?
No, it's one person at a time.
Frankie will try to get into the same clamshell that Mr. Weird kid we don't know about is getting into.
Sure thing. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of getting out of one line and getting into the next. It may take you a couple more minutes to get through the process, but the process is moving very quickly. Not a lot of people are freaked out by this. It seems to be a pretty regular thing of how to get into this particular club.
I do, yeah. I'll ask the person in front of me. Is that always what the doors are here like?
He's like, yeah, that's how you get into the clamshell. You gotta get sucked down. You never been?
My first time.
Oh, you're in for it. It's always different, but it's always a fucking great time.
I'm real excited.
You're gonna love it. I can't wait. Like, people have been talking about Pools of Infinity for fucking months. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, you guys all mill in, and like you get into your specific clamshells. It clamps down on you, and it's not slimy or wet, but it is very slick as you are just sort of swallowed down into the ground, and go through this fairly short tube that deposits you into the club, where you guys see your first glimpse of a Muzzy and Bang experience. This particular one, the club has been arranged such that there are about a dozen different sort of pools that are all connected by little rivers, and you can get out and get back in anywhere you want. But everywhere there are lights, there are sounds, there's a sort of a light vapor everywhere. And just there are images being projected on all the walls, in the water. There's bioluminescent biotech algae in the water that like moves and glows different colors. Sort of standing on little islands are dancers and singers who are all sort of looking over each individual pool and seem to be sort of a locus of guiding that particular experience. And yeah, it is a incredibly elaborate, all-encompassing experience. There is a low-level telepathic sense that you have that is very sort of soft and invitational. You get the sensation that you can opt in and out of it whenever you want.
Immediately opted.
Yeah, just you get an entirely different sense conveying you all the images and sounds. It's not like you're not hearing thoughts; you're just hearing a different dimension, a different sense is activated to get all this input into you. What
Yeah,
is
Frankie's all in.
what is everyone doing? Is anyone jumping into the pools? Is anybody heading to the bar? There's no. It's not a. The bar is a bar in the sense that it serves drinks. It does not serve alcohol. But it does serve like super juice and like high vitamin cocktails.
Just floating in
Oh.
the music.
All right, so you're heading into the pool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Frankie wants to keep an eye on that kid, where the kid went, if she can.
Okay. Give me if you're gonna try and find the kid. Let's see what would be the best for this. Give me a larceny roll.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. Let me just see if I can find a better one. It is kind of a sneaky roll. He is trying to be sneaky. Yeah, larceny is probably the best because he is definitely trying to be sneaky.
Okay.
2 successes. All right, noted.
That was larceny cunning, by the way.
Cool. Excellent. Narwhal, are you up to anything?
I'm looking around at all the performers to see if there's any like circles where I know people where that looks like they might be like open performance groups, not just people part of the event.
Yeah, give me a culture roll.
Culture cunning, probably.
Yeah.
I got 1 success.
Okay. I mean, you know some people, like, you recognize a few faces. They're not really anyone that you don't recognize anyone that you like are on a good like first name basis with, but you recognize some people. You recognize some of the performers. What about Hannah? What are you up to?
I am going to take a look at the pools and get an idea, like a quick kind of idea of what the general thematics are, and jump into one.
Yeah, I mean they are. It's hard to pin down a theme. These are like
or colors or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, just something to pick up based
absolutely.
on.
I mean these are like psychedelic experiences, like different flavors of psychedelic experiences. But yeah, you jump right in and get into the flow of it, and it is like doing drugs without having done any drugs. So yeah, it's the same with you.
I don't have to pay for this.
No, you actually did not have to pay for this.
Yeah.
You guys did get there was a scholarship lottery for tickets for people who have never done a muzzing and bang experience. It's more important for animal culture that people have these experiences than they get, than people who have done it a dozen times get it. So people who have secured their tickets will put like half of them into a lottery for first timers, and with no cover charge. But yeah, so Frankie, you are starting looking for this guy, and it's very hard. It's very hard to find a specific person. There is a lot of there's a lot of bodies. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of colors and light. You think you see him in one of like the far pools, but then you like lose track of him.
Yeah, that's fine. If Frankie can't keep up, Frankie's gonna be like, well, guess it's not my problem anymore. And she immediately is looking around for her group, because she likes to keep an eye on her group, but the hottest guy or girl that is near the group.
Okay. There are
She's
plenty
gonna
of
go-
good-looking young
yeah.
people here. Yeah, you circle in on a fairly androgynous-looking person who's sitting on one of the edges of the pools, dangling their feet into it. Because your group is getting a little spread out because the pools have currents to them. Like you can stay in one pool for a little bit, but then you're kind of edged into one of the rivers to take you into another part of the experience. There seems to be some sort of telekinetic effect that is sort of keeping people at like a bare minimum, like a 1.5 foot distance from one another, so people aren't like bumping into each other. Just sort of maintaining personal space. Hannah, part of the telepathic effect that you've opted into is like you can kind of key in like, oh, I don't want to touch that person, but I can allow myself to get in closer contact with this person. It seems
So useful.
yeah, it's very useful. No one wants anyone to have a bad time here, and so they're trying to edge out any particular vectors of bad times. But yeah, Frankie, you sidle up to this very attractive looking androgynous person who's just sort of dangling their feet in the water and looking up at the ceiling where like an arm of the Milky Way just seems to be projected slowly, moving across the ceiling.
Frankie gives a disarming smile and simply offers her hand. She says, "Take a dip."
They turn and look to you, and they just sort of nod when your mutual consent is determined by the security system. You push past the telekinetic barrier and dip into the water without another word.
Frankie's gonna have a good time.
It is one hell of a good time. Cool. Mice, you are enjoying the flow. It is absolutely everything that you could possibly dream of. Give me an empathy roll.
All right.
You think that everyone who was above has gotten into the club now, so the music is starting to ramp up in tempo and intensity, and the images and the sensations are all sort of getting into sync with each other. And you think like that was like the introductory part of the experience. Now we're getting into like track 1.
Excellent. 2 successes.
2 successes. You're getting into it. It is absolutely a flow that you can abandon yourself into it. But you think you hear your name in sort of one of the subvocal tracks. You can't exactly make out what it's saying, but you just hear your name repeated a few times. You think you might have to like pay a little bit closer attention to try and tease it out.
I'm going to first look around and see if anyone else seems to be as weirded out as I am. Like, can I tell if other people are hearing their names?
You see people all around are kind of like having that look of, did I just see that? Did I just hear that? I mean, you know that Muzzy and Bang has clairsentient visions woven in through it. And, you know, people are known to have like spiritual, personal revelations are par for the course of these experiences.
I mean, I have those twice a week, so,
Yeah.
you know. All right, well,
But these are like
pay more
hooked
attention.
into the
yeah,
clairsentient vision of the universe.
this was not from something that I ingested, I don't think.
Indeed.
I will allow myself to pay more attention and see if I can listen more deeply.
Okay, you start to hunker down and start to try and tease that out. I'll get back to you. Edward, what are you up to?
I'm deciding to jump in the pool.
Okay,
Yeah. See where the flow takes me.
cool. Give me a technology roll.
And a fail.
Fail.
Yep.
Yeah, there's something like you think you see a glitch in one of the projections, but you're not able to tease it out. But yeah, the flow is great. You get into one of the pools where sort of the attendant is like dressed like a big heron, and is just sort of like washing their big feathery arms over things and sort of directing the flow of things. And they've got this big beak thing over. And when you get close to them, you recognize it as one of the performers that you do. You're not like on a first name basis of them, but you recognize them. You've been at a couple of parties with them. And they're just having a time, like being a little mother bird over her eggs.
I try to jive with it and dance a little bit and see if they get their attention, if they recognize me.
Okay. Yeah, give me a persuasion roll.
That's a lot of dice and still 0 successes.
Oh, shit. She just sort of like boops you on the forehead with her beak and like ushers you back into the water. But that would be momentum to the pool, by the way, for the failure. Hannah, what are you up to?
I am swimming from one pond to the next, and mostly totally immersed in the experience, except one little bit of me that is looking out for the kid that the FSA folks were looking at.
Okay, give me a larceny roll.
Two successes. Well, can I? If I'm using sight, can I use that the keen sense again?
Sure.
So that would make it. That would make it 3.
3
Two
successes
plus 1 enhancement.
So you're looking for like you're just kind of paying some attention to this, and you don't find them. You don't find the guy, but you do notice like the vibes are off on like 2 pools over. Like there's something discordant is happening about 2 pools over that you're not sure is part of the experience.
I am going to go to the. I'm going to go ahead and get to the periphery of that pool to see if I can suss out what's happening.
Okay. Are you going to try and get anybody else's attention, or are you doing this by yourself? You can like look out and like since you're tapped into the telepathic thing, it's actually very easy to find people you know. You just sort of guide in, so you can easily find your friends.
Let's see. Was that Narwhal that I just saw get rejected?
Yes, that is Narwhal you just saw get rejected.
He needs
I'll
something
just- yeah.
to do.
Yeah, I'll look for you, kind of catch your eye and look over at that pool when you get close enough.
Like, oh, what's going on over there?
I don't know. Vibe seems kind of wrong. I'm gonna go find out what's going on if you wanna join.
Yeah, I'll do some mediating over there. Let's see what's happening.
Okay. So yeah, you two head over and start checking things out. And it's not like there's nothing obvious. It's just like people are distracted here. People are not getting into the experiences as full as they are in other pools. Go ahead and yeah, I'm going to need another technology for roll from the both of you. If you want to use teamwork, one of you would roll and then provide enhancement to the other.
I will assist. I will try to assist you. With team.
I have 0 in technology, so I think
me
I won't
too.
do that.
All right. Well,
All right, let's see. Let's see if I
Don't
can
forget you
enhance
have
it for this.
momentum if you want to add some extra dice to your rolls.
You have my full
Yeah.
approval. Anytime y'all want to use momentum, use it.
all right. Do you want to do the main roll, or do you want me to help you?
Can we use 3 momentum?
Sure. That's going to be you're going to be 2 momentum left.
3 left because I failed the last technology
okay.
roll and that roll.
Gotcha.
All right. I'll go ahead and roll to see if I can give you any extra. I want to use cunning, I guess, again, or
Sure.
should it be intellect?
Either would apply.
Alright, I'll give you 1 enhancement.
So
Okay.
3.
So yeah, you're looking and you're seeing, and you notice on a patch of wall on one of the pools, like the rim of one of the pools, the light looks wrong. It looks like a different. It's a different wavelength, a different like projector setup. It's not constant. It just there's like an image that flashes in the collage of images that has a wrong quality of light to it. And as you're sort of like, it's very hard to tease things out and try and get that. You notice there's also like a sound that accompanies that, but it's unclear. You think you'd have to get like closer to the source. And whatever's happening is incredibly subtle.
I kind of reach out in a telepathic thing and be like, see if there's like anyone to reach out to be, hey, I think there's people messing with the area here.
You can put that thought up into the area. You sort of look over at the attendant, and the attendant the attendant at this pool is much less like being a performer and is more like looking for something. So you think someone here knows that something is wrong, but whatever is happening is very subtle and hard to pick up on.
I want to try to figure out what the images in that look wrong, like what they actually are. Now that I know kind of where it's coming from, like what kind of vibes being laid down here? This discordant.
Yeah, you think you probably need to get like closer into the experience, like experiencing it from the level of where it's being targeted at.
Yeah, I swim over and just open myself up to the telepathy as well.
Yeah. So you wait a little bit. You kind of know what you're looking for. And it's a very brief image. It's maybe 5 seconds long. And it's the same image every time that it comes up. And it's a woman's face. And the first time you see it, you think it's your own mother. And she's very expressive, like you're able to read her lips more than you're being able to hear whatever audio is accompanying this image. And you don't quite catch it the first time. The second time, it's the same image, but you realize that the face is just like incredibly generic. Like it's sort of algorithmically designed to be recognizable enough that, an older woman is probably going to, like, the first thought that you're going to pair with it is your own mother. And eventually you hear, like, you're able to piece together what the audio that accompanies it, along with reading the lips. It says, Sweetie, an aberrant's controlling your mind. You need help. An aberrant's controlling your mind. Get out of here. Get help. And then you see at the last minute a number flashes at the end of the loop. Like a phone number.
Anybody who I'm connected with in the telepathy probably feels me like I kind of a very abruptly withdraw. I do try to like keep up with the number, but I'm also pretty upset by this as I swim away.
Give me a
back
culture
over to where
roll.
Narwhal is.
Give
Sure.
me a culture roll.
Should I go? Would cunning or composure be more appropriate?
Either would be appropriate.
2 successes.
You recognize that number immediately. It's emergency services for the FSA police contingent here.
Oh no. Well, now I'm very upset, and yeah, I swim back over where Narwhal is.
Hey, what'd you see over there? I just felt you kind of tighten up.
Yeah. I don't think that's part of the curated experience. I think somebody sabotaged it to make it look like our mothers are telling us our aberrants are attacking us, that we need to call the FSA police, which would be terrible. They're also spreading that phone number around, or that my contact number around.
Oh.
So that wasn't super pleasant after that wave of empathy I was riding on before.
Do you see that guy that you noticed upstairs around here? And I kind of look around, see if I can get a glance of him.
You see, yeah, you do actually, once you're sort of looking for him, you see him just sort of floating on a little floaty, um, and he is just leaving the pool, going into one of the rivers from where you guys are now.
That away. We should stop him before he starts messing with others, or at least keep an eye on him. See if,
Yeah,
since I look over at the attendant, like he seems busy.
Yeah, one like you notice the vibe corrects itself. Of shortly after you see him leave the pool, and the attendant gets back to doing what he was paid to do.
I go try to follow him.
Okay.
Yeah, while you're
Yeah.
going, I'm kinda like
Like the
talking to
only
him.
people in the river trying to get towards this guy, so I imagine it's just being open.
Okay. We'll head back to Frankie. You are floating with your friend, and it is just an experience. It is an absolute vibe. And like you find yourself just floating. Eventually you find yourself floating into the middle of one of the bigger pools. And there is a moment when all of like the bioluminescent light and algae seem to like collect around you, and you become like this focus of light, and you feel regarded, you feel acknowledged, and like the eye of the universe is looking on you for just a moment before the algae moves over to the next person, and then you see like that look of just like validation and acknowledgement wash over someone else's face.
If Frankie lives in that moment. Frankie kind of clings to that memory as Frankie's wont to do. She enjoys being the center of attention, and very much so when the focus is on her. She, strikes a pose. She's a rocker herself, so she's very appreciative of what's going on, taking notes.
Okay. Yeah, it is. There's certainly a lot to take note of here. Like this is clearly a master at work. But yeah, you kind of take note that you've been separated from your friends. They seem to be all off doing their own thing, and you're just chilling with your friend. Um, are you just gonna keep vibing?
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't really been alerted that something else is wrong, so she's gonna keep doing what she do.
Okay. Um, all right. So mice, you've been vibing as well, but paying attention. Eventually, you kind of there is a loop. Something is going on under the music, under the sound, and you're able to tease it out eventually. And it's mice, don't be afraid of the ghost. Mice, she needs your help. Mice, don't be afraid of the ghost. Mice, she needs your help.
Very peculiar. I'm gonna look around and see just anyone who's in my immediate vicinity, any party goers, and just kind of say, yeah, is this never been here before? Is this kind of thing normal? I keep hearing like voices,
Um, yeah, you touch someone. It's a guy. He says like, yeah, that is normal. Marty is really good at working little bits of advice and things that they've seen, um, into the performance, and people tease it out and find it. So if you're hearing something, if it's something that's directed at you, then you should probably pay attention to it. Like it might be a
Yeah.
destiny thing.
I feel that. Like I feel it here. I mean, do you hear anything? Like is Marty talking to you as well?
You know what? I try not to hog the attention. If they are, then I'll hear it. If not,
Cool.
I'm here
Yeah,
for it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I heard the first time I was here, I heard them, and they told me that I should go to one of the ISRA places, and I got a lot of help with some money issues that I was dealing with. So my life has already been changed. So I don't want to. If they're gonna give me more, then they're gonna give me more. I'm not gonna push it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's both uplifting and uncomfortably personal, but I'm into it. Yeah.
I
All
mean,
right.
this is Muzzian. This is Muzzian. This is what it's all about.
That's what I'm learning. Yeah.
And he
Just
just
kind of sidle away.
yeah, he kind of like gives you kind of a wave and a nod. And it's like, yeah, follow it, whatever it is, follow it.
I mean, it's not like completely unnerving advice. It's just confusing and a little bit strange. So
Part of the course. And they kind of jump in. He kind of jumps into the water and swims off. Back with Narwhal and Hannah too. Yeah. So are you guys trying to swim up to this guy, or are you getting out of the pool and trying to? How are you guys approaching this?
I'd probably get out of the pool and try to go to the like cut across to the one he's headed towards while making a couple steps along the way, just so I don't look like I'm making a beeline for him.
Okay. So you're trying? Are you sure you're trying to sneak up on him?
I'm trying to beat him there actually,
Oh,
so
okay.
I can watch what he does when he gets there.
Okay. Give me an athletics roll. Narwhal, what are you up? How are you accomplishing this?
I was gonna do the same thing, kind of go up and like dance between pool to pool,
All right.
trying to make
Yeah.
it look like I'm just over there having fun, and then like kind of like maybe not cannonball if there's not enough room, but dive back in.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an athletics roll as well.
I got 2 successes, by the way.
Okay.
do we others notice them at all moving from pool to pool? Like,
Yeah, I would say like you probably know you see them across the way after you kind of like have that encounter. Yeah, you can definitely see that they're up and out of the pools and like moving with a purpose.
if they happen to glance over to me, I'm going to give them like a, what are you doing? You know, kind of thing.
If I can catch, yeah, if you catch my eye, I'll wave you over.
Like I said, whatever this telepathic effect is, it definitely makes it very easy to locate on people, like locate and connect with people you know.
If Murphy looks over, then I'll
Yeah.
hoist myself out of the pool, dripping with whatever this liquid is.
It's mostly
Yeah,
water,
I'm-
but there is like bioluminescent algae that kind of clings and forms little cool patterns.
I mean, I know how these parties go. There've been a lot of people in there for a while, and you know, things happen.
Yeah, and you can probably tell just by like when we catch eyes that Hannah's no longer having so much fun. And
Yeah.
that's kind of looks pretty serious.
I'll start making my way over.
Okay. And Frankie, is Frankie just vibing, or is she of a mind to notice their friends hopping out of the pools?
I think it comes to the point where she noticed all 3 of them are kind of getting together, and it kind of draws her attention. And at which point she kind of like, you know, looks to her new friend and kind of like gives them a kiss on the cheek before like moving away,
Okay.
disengaging.
Yeah, they sort of just close their eyes and lean in and say, have a great experience.
You too. She kind of smiles and then kind of like floats over and kind of like gets out the pool, and she's walking over to her friends, and she's kind of like got this like what's going on look, and she flips her hair over past her shoulder. What's going on?
Yeah, you guys have the 2 of you have made it over to the pool. You're pretty sure the kid is still in like the windy river part of it. And you guys notice that like the current has slowed down. So it's not like as the music is starting to die down and the visualizations are starting to get more muted. It seems like it's a transitionary period, and you kind of get the sense that maybe someone's working this angle as well from an environmental standpoint. But you guys have a moment to like collaborate and get together before you see the kid come out of the river.
I think that one guy that was with those other guys is well, injecting some bad vibes and maybe trying to convince us to swat ourselves. So trying to keep an eye on him.
Projecting bad vibes, like he's messing up the show?
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
I think I'm guessing it was him. somebody, one of the projectors was messed with and had some FSA propaganda that was real unpleasant.
Gross. She looks over at Narwhal. You gonna punch
It was
this kid?
gross. Don't start a fight,
Gonna
Why not?
talk to him for sure.
because you'll get kicked out and then you won't get to enjoy this experience.
How are we supposed to enjoy it anyway if they messing it up? What are we supposed to just go like tell someone? They're a little busy.
Yeah, I hate snitches. Hmm. Don't get in a fight. And then I just get in the water and try to like be near the entrance so I can watch for him when he comes in.
Okay. What is everybody else
Break
doing?
my nail.
I'm gonna say to Frankie, I don't condone the use of violence, but in this instance, I mean, you do what you got to do. You know, this is your thing. So,
This
yeah.
is our thing. Our.
All right.
Where are his other buddies? What is this like a multi-prong attack? Are they setting up for something?
You don't see any of his other buddies.
That's highly sus.
Yeah, thinking it through. Hold on. Give me an enigma. Somebody can give me an enigmas roll.
Oh, I like those. Oh no. Yes. Will my specialty oh wait. I have a thingy. Hold on. I'm sorry.
No problem.
And I was smart. Tell me I'm smart. Did I write down the page number? Yes, I did. Hot dang. I would like to spend 1 momentum. I want to use connecting the dots. When confronted with a pattern, a set of circumstantial clues, or incomplete evidence, the player can spend 1 momentum for her character to make a logical leap, which allows her to gain the results of a single research action immediately, as though she spent the required time to take the action and fulfilled the milestones.
You can do that, but this is not that complicated. Like,
Oh,
you would
okay.
not need to spend a research action to do this.
Okay, well, never mind then. I'll just roll then.
It's fine. What about, so Hannah's in the water, we're getting ready to be there. What about Edward and Massilian? Where are you guys positioning yourselves?
5.
Cool.
I think the water seems like a good place because Mycelium does not like to get their hands dirty in terms of actually dealing with people.
So you're heading into the pool as well. What about you, Narwhal?
I know I can move fast, so I'll keep an eye over there. But for the most part, I'm just dancing and just trying to raise the mood of the area and have a good time myself.
Cool. Noted. All right. So, Frankie, you got 5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you thinking through this. This was a coordinated op. The kids with the flyers were the distraction. They were there to make sure that this kid got into the show.
So they're not even in here. They already did their part.
They didn't even have their tickets. Wow.
He just kind of gives a sigh, and she looks at her group and she goes, well, you want to wreck their op?
But I'll give you one more sort of like hunch and hint. You're like, just because they weren't like the whole flyer thing wasn't there, like there's obviously like a coordinated operation going on here. Like, this isn't just kids. This isn't just shithead kids. Like, this is a part of something. And you think maybe that Silver Nugget place might be a good place to check out if you wanted to look into this further.
And she'll kind of relay this to the group, and then she legitimately gets in the way. Basically, Murphy is there to kind of get to the kid first, but Frankie is nearby because Frankie is about to have a conversation that the kid probably doesn't want to have.
All right. So
I'm pretending to just be vibing.
Cool.
So
So I will say that you guys have gotten enough headway here. Eventually, like this very slow current pushes this kid out into this pool, where you've got Narwhal's just sort of like hanging up above, doing some dancing. Hannah and Frankie are in the water, ready to go. Mice is there, sort of as backup. You guys definitely like sort of. You can form kind of like a semicircle corral around this kid as he floats his way up into the pool. So, and with like it's kind of like the telekinetic effect is sort of helping you out, like you've positioned yourself so that
yeah, I'll
He's
basically
kind
kind
of
of
like-
slide in behind him.
like he's kind of like buffeted by this personal space field, so that you guys kind of have him in a spot.
Perfect.
He doesn't like react when this happens because he might not particularly, unless you guys are being overt about this, he doesn't necessarily know that he's been put in a cage. But he just seems to be floating away.
I look over at Narwhal. You want to handle this kid?
Go ahead and I jump in the water.
So you just complete the circle around him.
Yep.
And like the splash seems to catch his attention. Like he like looks around and notices like, hey guys, are you what's up? You guys harsh from my mellow? This isn't cool.
Oh, sorry, we're just here to have a good time, man. I don't know.
Can I get by
Ain't no
then?
mellow harsh in here.
Can I get by then?
I was like, where are your friends that you came here with, though?
I came by myself, man. I know what you're talking about.
There were some people who up there seemed like they knew you.
I don't know, man. I don't know. If anyone would like to roll empathy to see if he's lying or not.
I would, and now I would like to spend the momentum to do the cold read as well,
Gotcha.
if that's okay with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do
Oh.
teamwork of some kind?
Yeah, sure. You can roll empathy and,
That'd be-
and give them enhancement.
Yeah, I think while all this is happening, while Frankie's letting Narwhal handle this, Frankie is very obvious. Frankie doesn't do subtle very well.
Mhm.
Frankie is staring him down as Narwhal talking to him. She
Noted.
does not look pleased.
So 4 successes.
Okay, so that'll be 4 enhancement on an empathy roll.
Ooh.
Nice. I'm glad
I
someone-
also have cold read if that helps, but
Cool.
glad someone has empathy
Can I
to
take
me.
2 of those successes? So put me at 4 successes.
Yeah,
2 of
absolutely.
those. Cool.
All right, yeah. So yeah, you're kind of like you're sitting back, you're reading this kid. He is a very good liar, but he is absolutely lying. Like you've caught this kid. He is definitely part of whatever operation is being played on this show. And like really well trained for a kid. Like he's maybe 15.
I just want to say as kindly as possible, like, oh man, you don't know anyone here? We'll be your friends for the night. I mean, you can hang out with us. We'll stick with you.
Cool. Yeah. We can hang
This
out
kind of thing's
for a
way
bit.
more fun when you can spend some time with some friends.
Yeah. Get to know each other. I mean, that's all part of the experience.
Cool. Yeah, no, we can hang out. I just kind of like going through all the pools. Like there seems to be a little bit of different vibe in each one of them.
Yeah. That one over there was kind of weird though. That's why I left it.
Oh.
Wasn't as much fun as the other one I was in first. Did you notice anything strange like that?
No, I didn't. Lying.
Sometimes it's good to just chill in one pool for a little while too. You know, like the vibe kind of ebbs and flows and changes, and you really get like a deeper sense, you know? Just like hang for a bit with us.
Is your first time at one of these kind of shindigs?
Yeah. First time.
Me too.
Well,
Didn't
I've
know
been to
quite what to
I've been to
expect.
bang shows, but never a
Oh, yeah.
Muslim one. Like this is like the top tier kind of thing. But yeah, no, never been to a bang show like this.
You get a scholarship too?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I actually just I got the ticket spot for me from a friend.
Lucky you, yeah. This is my first time getting to see a Muslim show, but yeah, scholarships, like I said.
It's nice of your
What's
friend
your
to buy you a ticket and not even come.
guess.
Well, they it's not their thing. But they really wanted. He knew I really wanted to see it.
What's been your favorite part so far?
I don't know. The whole vibe's cool.
Yeah,
Anyone
yeah,
like
it
to give
is.
me a technology roll?
Technology and cunning.
Cunning or intellect?
I'll give it a shot as well.
1 success.
No successes.
Okay. You pick up on it. You kind of know what you're looking for. You see around his neck, and kind of a necklace thing. You think that like one of the big gems on it is like a holoprojector.
I've
Uh,
seen such things before.
Like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna, chill out. Who are you guys? Like, are you guys a group? Or are you guys just partiers, or what's up?
I'm Anna. I'm just here to party.
Yeah,
Hey,
Mike.
fam, I'm Narwhal. So, kind of go. What events do you usually go to? Like, where's your bank spot?
Uh, you know, so no, not there. I gotta go to the bathroom. Are you guys gonna like stop? I don't want to.
Oh man. When you get back, let's dance some.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And he like goes up to one of the like little
literally
ladders.
looking between you guys with the what the fuck, and she literally
Well, he was lying that whole time.
like
Yeah,
walked over to the kid, and basically before they can get to the bathroom, she literally points at his neck, points at him, and points at the door, and she goes, "Your cover's blown. Your op's fucked. Get the hell out before we get."
All right, give me a command roll.
She's done.
At least ask what he's trying to accomplish. You just see Hannah saying that from far away.
Okay. Does my striking look apply?
Yeah, it'll apply.
Awesome. Will my name of the lights apply?
If you wish to spend for it, you can.
Let me check.
Is that hold on.
Second. I don't know. That might be one that's
That might be a constant one. Let me
it's a luck one.
the luck
constant.
Okay. Yeah, it's a constant.
Yeah, constant luck.
I'll say that your dress doesn't really like. It's not very intimidating. It's more of a club gear. So I would say it won't that particular advantage won't apply.
10. All right. Tell me things, dice roller. Be my friend. 10, 10, 8, 7, 7.
All right, you got plenty of successes. He kind of like scrunches up his face and says like, "Fucking freaks. Fine, enjoy your fucking druggo fucking party. I'm out of here." And he stomps off towards the exit.
By the way, that was like 8 total.
Gotcha. Yeah, he is fucking gone. He is not happy. He's on autopilot getting the fuck out of there.
And she just kind of like watches him go, and she just kind of like turns around and goes to the group and goes, "Problem solved. Can I go back to my concert now?"
Did you find out what he was like up to besides just kind of making it less fun?
No, I just wanted him gone.
All right, well,
Pump him for information.
E for effort.
I mean, he's right over there. You can soften them up. Narwhal's the nice one.
Did he leave, or did he just did he leave? Did it look like he left the venue? If we could, as far as we could tell.
Yeah, you think he has gone into like the alcove where you get to the exit.
Ah.
It's this kind of place like until like the show ends, like it's not really designed for people to just like be able to get out.
Right.
Like you have to announce, like tell someone that you want to leave. So he might be still here if you want to chase after him.
Yeah, I'm pulling him down to make sure that he's actually leaving.
Okay, yeah, you're able to follow him down. You get into that alcove. You're seeing he's like just having a quick conversation with security. To hit the exit button. It looks like that conversation is taking a little bit longer than it might normally take, but it's not heated or anything. Like no one's giving him an armbar or anything.
Yeah, I'll follow you. Like, well, I hope he's not telling security we were hassling him instead of the other way around.
Oh, good point. I'm gonna follow them as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Defend
there.
our name.
Like rolls her eyes and just follows behind with this.
Okay.
Well, now we don't look suspicious at all, guys.
Yeah,
Now we definitely look like troublemakers.
You guys all sort of congregate and you're looking at there. It looks like that conversation ends, and he is led out through kind of like this veiled area, so that the door doesn't open and let in a bunch of light. But he looks like he leaves the vicinity, and the security woman he was talking to, kind of like starts looking around, scans the room, sees the four of you clumped together, and like
Well,
gives you a look, and just like motion you guys over.
I'm gonna go right up to her.
all right,
Just-
Frankie, let one of us handle this part.
Okay, if you guys get me kicked out of this thing, I'm gonna be pissed.
We're not gonna get kicked out of anywhere. Let's
Uh,
go to the security person. I was like, hey, yeah, we actually came over here to chat with you.
Great. So just to let you know, that kid was saying that you guys were giving him a hard time. We're not necessarily inclined to believe him. There was some bad vibes. The proprietor had let us know to be on the lookout for situations like this, but we'd appreciate an explanation.
Yeah, he had some kind of way he was tapping into some of the projectors and showing some images of mean mothers and trying to get us to think aberrants were attacking our minds. Or at least inserting that subtle message in to kind of bring down the mood, and we didn't appreciate that, so we told him so.
All right. Anybody else have details to add to that?
It was his
Yeah.
neck thing. The neck thing.
It was his neck thing.
The neck thing.
Shit.
Necklace, we call it.
Yes, that's
Frankie
That's
will
the
get the
word.
technical term.
Gotcha. Shit. We should have taken that off of him. Oh well. Well, like I said,
nope.
we weren't inclined to believe him. The proprietor seemed to think that something fucky was off. But thanks for your help, I guess. And he kind of she pulls out a little kind of doodad, and says like, since you guys were helping the vibe out, she's like, hold out your hands.
Yeah, all right.
And she just sort of
Hannah
like,
first.
yeah, she just sort of draws it across your skin, one by one, in this little kind of biomembrane that starts to glow in kind of a scintillating pattern. Shows up on your hand, and it says follow the pulses. It'll take you to the VIP pool.
Well, thanks. Didn't expect that out of the night. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, y'all are first timers, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, magic. And we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, and we'll see what the VIP pool is like.
Yay.
And we are back with Trinity Continuum on Luna Rocks. When last we left, we saw our friends having helped out security expel a ne'er-do-well who was messing with the vibe with some terrible FSA propaganda. What do those fascists have against art and music, huh? But they were rewarded with little biomembrane passes that will lead them to the VIP pool. So the security woman just kind of like puts that on your back of your hands and says, "Enjoy the night."
Thank you.
Awesome.
Rock on.
I'm gonna go get some juice and try to find that VIP lounge if anyone wants to come with.
Yes. Are you kidding?
Absolutely.
They might have special drinks in the VIP lounge.
All right, well, let's just follow the pulses. Whatever.
Okay, so yeah, you guys are able to get a drink, some like high nutrient B12 cocktails. Like as you're like going, you realize like why they kind of discourage people doing drugs before going to this, because it might just be like too much.
Hat on the hat.
Yeah, hat on a hat, exactly. Which isn't to say they disallow it; it's just not recommended.
Yeah, Mice did not show up sober.
Yeah, so they've been having a time. So yeah, you guys get some drinks, and you sort of follow the little bioluminescent pulses that leads you into one of the pools. That seems to be sort of one side of it is sort of surrounded by this scintillating curtain on which is being projected this undulating, multi-layered image. That has like little bits of recognizable things, but nothing is jumping out of it at any of you. And when you get into the water, your pulses just sort of take you over to one side of it, over to the side of the curtain, and a portion of the wall, when you approach, opens up, and you begin to feel the sort of slight telekinetic tug on all of you, and where if you relent to it, it will pull you up a water slide along with water from the pool. So you were literally going up a reverse water slide.
Ew, because it's way backwards.
Yeah.
That's what she says.
Yeah. And it pulls you sort of behind the curtain, up around, into this area that is not visible from the other pool, the rest of the pools, where there is another sort of fairly large pool that has about a dozen people in it, and you can see down into the pool, the other pools. You kind of get this alternate perspective on the experiences that you were down there. Like changing elevation seems to give you just a slightly different view of what's going on. Whereas up here, the experience has a different tenor to it. It's still, very psychedelic. It's still very in time with the music and in time with all the other sensations. But it seems to be sort of it's more diffuse. There's areas of more intense lights and sounds on various like little alcoves in the pool. More like kind of little individual grottos. And you see people sort of gravitating into one area, going in there for a little bit before moving out and gravitating into another area. And there is a very nice bar in the back that is catering to about a dozen or so people who are here.
Gonna head to the bar and get the most neon blue drink they have.
Oh, they absolutely have a blue meanie. And it is definitely, there's a little bit more of a kick to this one. Maybe some methogens laced in at low levels. Your discerning palate can detect a little bit of that kind of a planty extract.
Got a very nice bouquet.
A nice bouquet, yes, absolutely. But yeah, there seems to be, like I said, about a dozen people here. They're VIPs, so you're not sure why they're important or why they've been given access to this, but who knows? What are you guys up to?
Frankie's gonna do the same thing she did last time. Frankie's gonna find a friend.
Okay.
That's what Frankie do.
What are you looking for in particular? These people seem to be better dressed. They seem to be, here with a purpose. They're having conversations with each other. There's no one here that seems to be like by themselves.
Okay. Do I recognize any of them at all?
Give me a culture roll.
All right. I don't even remember what my culture is. I know it ain't high. It's a 1. Cool. I'll take it. I'll take it. Three successes.
Okay. Yeah, you notice the people who you recognize because they are people you've seen in the media. Um, and you recognize them as Scions. You recognize 3 people who you are certain are Scions. You recognize someone from Cyrodor Orgatech, kind of a big time sort of tech inventor. You recognize a very lauded Legionnaire woman, who known for kicking aberrant ass. And you recognize a member of the Aesculapian order, kind of a lauded search and rescue person who is capable of going into radiation zone and saving people. You recognize those 3 because they've been on the OpNet pretty regularly as heroes of the solar system. Other people you recognize as just like they're fancy people, but you don't immediately recognize them.
Do any of them? Is there anyone taking note of us?
A couple people take a look. A couple people notice, but no one's like staring at you or making a big deal about you being here.
Okay. She'll relay the heroes as aware to the group, basically seeing where they're gonna go.
They seem to be.
Boy.
They're not talking to each other. They seem to be talking with other people in like these little conversation areas.
More, Frankie's asking her group after showing
okay.
them that they're here, like, what are you guys gonna go do?
I'm not really here to rub elbows as much as just enjoy the experience. So I think I'm going to lounge in this pool for a little bit and then go back out there and lounge in all the other pools for a bit and see what happens.
Go with the literal and metaphorical flow.
Indeed.
You guys aren't the least bit curious about meeting these people?
Of course, but 2 once in a lifetime experiences in the same evening. I'm already here for this one.
So as you guys are talking, you notice the music is starting to pick up again. The lights are starting to get more intense. And it actually is starting to really, really ramp up. Like the noise level starts to spike to the level that it's making constant conversation difficult. This seems to be one of the peaks of the evening, and like light from below literally like seems to wash up and start to coalesce up in this pool area. Things get very bright up here. The people here kind of like they're kind of looking at each other, kind of shrugging. Their conversations stop, and they dive into the central pool area where this like swirling vortex of light is beginning to form as like a telekinetic current is pulling people in a kind of an orbit around the center of the pool.
Well, they seem to know what's up. I follow them.
Yep.
Yeah, and it is definitely a unique experience. There's more like as you're flowing into it, like you feel hardier. You feel like something is like giving you stamina and energy. There are more psi effects going around in this area than down there. So like the level of BioWare up here is obviously more advanced. So yeah, you guys are just feeling like healthy and stimulated. And it really, after about a minute of this song going, it really becomes incredibly difficult to do anything but just like let it wash over you. And Hannah, you start to feel something kind of well up inside you as this experience is washing over and over you. The rest of you are orbiting around this like event horizon and like knowing that that this is an experience that would be much, much, much more intense if you were psionically active. But and that's kind of it's kind of a bittersweet sensation. But Hannah, you're starting to feel a resonance. You feel like you get pulled over the edge of that event horizon and through it, and you feel your senses wake up. You feel your perception widen around the room. You feel the life and vitality of everyone around you sort of resonating with your own as your psychic senses wake up. And this might be an overwhelming thing, but it is absolutely not. It is ecstatic.
Because I, have no idea it's my own psychic senses waking up. I'm just like, this is the VIP room, and just kind of just give over to it.
Yeah. When
Like
you
stop really paying attention to anyone else and just enjoy the experience of it.
when
Viscerally intense psychedelic VIP.
indeed.
Yeah.
Give me, please, if you would, a psi roll.
Is that just my psi? It's been a while. I forget if that's is it just my psi rating?
This one is going to be your psi rating. For other powers, you would add your mode dot.
Right.
But for reasons, this one is just going to be your psi.
Okay. No successes.
Okay. Yeah, something takes you out of that ecstatic experience. Something like doesn't feel right.
Again?
Yeah, you feel around you. There's just this underneath all of this like wholesome and like unifying sensation. There is a bad feeling. You feel it coming from the BioWare surrounding you. Like you look over at the Scions and you see them like blaring with light, the people that Frankie identified as Scions, but there is something underneath that light. And like your eyes are drawn across the room to where you realize basically the DJ booth is, and where like this like coordinated effort of psi abilities of psychic effects are going on. And you kind of subconsciously recognize that at what it is, but even through that, there's this underlying feel of unease about the source that you feel it's like what you're feeling, but when you turn your eye inward, you don't have whatever it is that's feeling wrong. Whatever it is that you're feeling is pure and right, but everything BioWare or Scion around you has this tinge of darkness to it.
Because I am going to be a little on the nose and literally dive deep into the pool and try to get just underneath as far as I can where everything is and close to the BioWare that's in the pool, and just try to understand what's going wrong here.
Go ahead and roll me psi plus your clairsentience dots.
Okay.
Hannah's acting a little weird.
Yeah, you guys see Hannah just like freak out for a moment, and then they
She looks
just dive.
super dead. Yeah, we look super dead.
Hannah?
But the rest of you are like that's the only weird thing happening other than just waves of ecstatic experience washing over the rest of you.
Well, I guess we get another momentum. No successes on that one either.
Yeah, you feel that wrongness there too, but you cannot identify anything about what it might be. Like when you get close to the BioWare, it's just ugh. And like instinctually, although you don't know what this is, instinctually you activate your own Cycloak ability. Like so you feel something within you well up sort of protecting you against whatever this is. And you feel just this like layer of separation between your essence and whatever it is that's surrounding you.
Yeah, I'll come back up out of the water and rejoin where my friends are now that I'm kind of out of the peak of the experience. And are the signs around us still glowing? Do I still see them differently?
Yeah, you still see them glowing. There's like kind of a, like I said, there's in your senses there's like this like millimeter thin layer of separation between you and them, but when you look at them, you see them glowing, and you see them like when you look at them, you see them looking around.
Oh, they
Like,
sense
like
something's wrong too.
All of them, yeah, all of them are like looking around, looking for something. Like they're starting to look at each other, and like they start to move closer to one another.
Hey guys, I think something's wrong here.
Yeah,
There's
you kind
something-
of freaked out there for a minute.
Yeah, it's not over. All the glowing guys are also looking for whatever's happening, and I think there's something wrong with the equipment or with them or something. I don't know. Something's not good. I think we should go back out to the main group. I think we should. I'm gonna go.
To be clear, we don't see the rest of them glowing, right?
You do not see them glowing, but you do
Yeah.
notice that they have gotten closer to one another and are talking to each other and looking around the area.
We could just go ask them what's up.
Yeah, you could do that. You've been wanting to meet them. Go for it.
Are you okay? Like you skittish, but you more skittish than usual.
I don't know.
What? Okay. Did you see something? Like, are there more of those, downers around?
Did you drink something? Did you drink something, Neon?
Not recently, and no, and not recently in that order. Y'all seriously don't feel some kind of, I don't know, it's like somebody left the garbage sitting too long. Something's kind of off, but it's not.
All right, well, I'm gonna stick my nose in the places it doesn't belong. Excuse me.
I'm gonna watch you do that, I guess.
That'd be preferable. Or you can come with me.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, it's cool.
Okay. So Frankie, are you heading over? What about Edward and Mice?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are heading over to the Scions.
I have a query. I'm not sure if it would be right for this moment, but if I have Behold the Halo, would that be useful for kind of determining anything about this off energy?
If you'd like to activate that, if you'd like to spend an inspiration to activate that, you can do so.
Yeah, well, Hannah seems weirded out, so let's get a beat on these people.
Yeah, you hold on. Let me look up the exact rule of that to see exactly what you would discover.
I do think it's kind of weird that they're projecting so
shit.
much light onto those guys.
Yeah, you kind of feel something is off. You kind of like have a desire to know information about the people around you, and how to represent this. You know through just like the same method that Frankie knew. You know those three are Scions. You absolutely know that. the same, and like it might be the drugs, but like you sort of see like a scintillation around them that just sort of flows through them. But and you just look around, you look at them, and the same scintillation is flowing through Hannah.
How very curious.
What about Edward? Are you doing anything?
I'm using Politico to kind of just see the energy in the group to see if there's anyone here that's a little off.
Okay, I believe that lets you ask some questions.
Yeah, I get questions equal to my cultural skill, and I have 3. So,
Okay, go ahead and ask me some questions.
is there anyone in the pool I should be wary of? Because obviously Narwhal's going to think that there's another like FSA person here.
Yes, one of the people, not any of the scions, but there is a dangerous person who could possibly do you harm in one of the conversation alcoves.
Okay, and then who is most agreeable here?
Most agreeable would be the person from Orgatech. Their name is Mix Varen. And they're kind of like Elon Musk if he wasn't an asshole. Like just very smart, very outgoing, and has created a lot of really like helpful and uplifting technology.
Okay. And then third one, what here is not what it appears to be.
Hannah.
Kind of look at her. I'm like, why does
Hannah
what's
is
going on with her?
very different.
Yeah, Hannah, you look something's up. Something's up with you.
You know what? I think you might be right.
You kind of like, you know.
All right, so that's not just part of that kind of gesture around at the room. I didn't know if we all felt weird.
I definitely feel weird.
No, I mean no weirder than usual, I guess. But
Well, that's not weird for you.
it's kind of like, I want to break out my BioWare for a minute, actually,
Okay.
if that's cool. So on the back of Mice's hands, like going down the wrists, are sort of like almost like glowing bits of energy, and they project a small hologram and try to create that same sort of scintillating effect that they saw in Hannah and the 3 scions. It's like you were kind of like doing this and kind of replicate that.
Is it the same way I see the scions kind of looking?
No, it's a different
No.
thing. Like you see like energy glowing and coursing through them.
I'll look at my own hands to see if I can see what he's seeing in me.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to look back at yourself, but like then you like sort of instinctively move your senses out from yourself and are able to look back at yourself, which is an incredibly like combination disconcerting, exhilarating experience. But when you do, you see it's the same type of energy, but it's flowing in a less intense and a different pattern in you.
Uh-oh.
So Frankie, are you still marching over, or are you hanging back while your friends are talking about stuff?
No, they stopped to talk to Hannah. I'm dead.
Oh, I figure we're having this conversation as we're heading over.
Okay.
Just very quick little aside.
Yeah. All right. So Hannah, Frankie, you pull your way over there, and you're talking to these 3 people, and the gentleman from that you know from Orgatech looks up at you and kind of looks down at you and says, "Hello, miss. What can I do for you?"
She kind of like tilts her head up and she goes, "What's going on?"
We're at a bang show.
Yeah, I know we're at a bang show, but what's going on? you three aren't just going to start acting weird like this unless something's going on, right? So what's going on?
The Legionnaire woman punches him in the shoulder. And she says, I told you you were being obvious. And he says, we're scions, and we detected something happen nearby. Whatever.
Kind of.
Yeah, something psionic happened. But we can't detect again anymore. Whatever it was just a flare up. These things happen sometime, but we can't.
Is that dangerous?
It can be. They look over to you and kind of just, they all look at you for a moment and then
I'm poker facing at him.
Yeah,
But
yeah, she's like, no, it's if it had kept going, then it would probably be more of concern, but the noetic medium is chaotic sometimes.
Right. I was just curious because we already had to deal with one security issue downstairs. So
Oh, do you work for the club?
Did we work at the club? No, but we handled it anyway.
Oh, so good citizens.
Sure. She just smiles.
Says,
She
well,
goes,
great citizens, not good citizens. No, I'm just playing.
I personally like to think of myself as an artist, but yes.
oh, interesting. Well, the world always needs more art.
Do you guys make bang?
Oh, no. I'm working on a new design for a bang board for a Muslian style. It's probably one of the reasons I'm here to talk with the proprietor. But no, we don't. I appreciate it, and I think my companions do as well. But we are far too busy to do that sort of thing.
Well, if you find yourself with some extra time, you can always come watch us play.
Oh, are you guys a collective?
We are.
This is great, fantastic. He pulls up his mini comp and says, "Send me your information."
I'm already doing it.
Yeah, I was about to say someone else probably handles that.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I went for the biocomp, so I'm
yeah.
just like,
Yeah, you bring up your biocomp, Hannah, and when you start to interact with it, like it's a combination of sensations. You've always been sort of intimately tied to this. Like it's always been like your friend and your companion, and the SI inside of it has been very close to you, and your connection to that deepens when you regard it, and it's like that intimacy and that closeness like rebounds. And then you see that sliver of something even inside this. But you're able to tap out the information and do a sort of a point-to-point data transfer.
yep, I pretend nothing weird's happening, but yeah, internally I'm just like, well, we're gonna have to look into this later, aren't we? To my agent.
Like, yes, absolutely, Hannah. We can definitely take a look. Do you want me to schedule a clinic visit?
No,
Okay.
thank you. Do you notice something strange happening here?
No, I've been recording everything, but everything seems fine.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, so I send them our information.
Well, thank you for this. We'll certainly check it out. You guys have anything on the OpNet?
Do we yet?
You guys have got some sort of sample tracks and things up there. Nothing that's gotten caught on very much. But you guys, your like demos and drafts have been they're up
Maybe
there.
don't listen. Maybe don't check it out tonight because we're not going to be able to compete with this. But yeah, I'll send them the links to our profile.
Well, I mean, you got
What
up
y'all's-
here, so there must be something going on for you.
Suppose so. What's y'all's names?
My name is Mix Varen. The Legionnaire woman says, I'm Lieutenant Maggie Hernandez. And the other one says, and I'm Stephen Rao.
mean, I've probably heard of them.
Yeah, you've heard.
I'm guessing.
You've all
Yeah.
heard these names. These are
But I'm-
like popular heroes.
I'm Hannah Medlock. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
We do introductions. Well, I'm Frankie. Most of the world knows me as Valentine.
Nice. And they look to the two of you, Edward and Mice.
Mycelium,
Nice. Oh.
charmed.
Narwhal.
Stephen from the Esculpians is like, cute. I like it.
Mm.
And Narwhal, absolutely cool. All right, well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I think we are.
Good luck finding whatever you're looking for.
Yeah. I think whatever it is died down. It didn't seem to be too long lasting, but if you see anything, absolutely point it out.
We'll keep our eyes peeled.
Can I roll empathy to know how much or I guess, or integrity, whatever it is, to know how much I trust these guys?
Yeah, you can roll an empathy.
It's 5 successes.
5 successes. They seem trustworthy, but there's something you can't put your finger on in all of them, in each of them. Kind of a like you focus a little bit on that darkness that you sense from them, and it's almost like it's a thing inside them, and it is hateful and scheming and disgusted. But it's in them, but not them.
Well, I don't comment on it immediately, but I do kind of consider on it. But I guess if are we walking away from them?
We basically just got dismissed. Yes.
We did.
We'll check out your album. Have a nice night.
Yeah.
I'll definitely listen to your demo tape for sure. Thank you. Yeah. As soon as we're away, as we're heading kind of just back to, if we're going back to the main group or if we're just staying up here to let them, but leaving them alone, I kind of
Yeah.
lean
Where
in.
are you guys headed? You guys headed down to the main area? Are you staying up in the VIP area? What's your guys' plan?
Well, Frankie wants to stay up in the VIP area for a little bit longer, mostly because she wants to go get a bead on the people in the alcoves. Basically, she wants to know who's up here. That's what she's up to.
Okay.
But if the group wants to chat first, she's down for that.
Might as well stay up there. I mean, it's not often you get invited to the VIP area, so might as well enjoy it for a while.
Right. Maybe you'll meet some movers and producers too.
Well, I'm just gonna say, y'all, and I kind of speaking softly as I lean in, like, whatever's wrong up here, it's wrong in them too. It's not that they're wrong, just there's something, I don't know, with them, in them, riding along. I'm not sure.
Well, they were doing that thing like you know, they were squiggly.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
So I
don't-
can't explain it. It's like if you dropped a mosaic made of light and then put it all over your face. Like
Okay, so
that.
that's not from the projectors, is what you're saying.
No, it's like an aura thing, you know? Yeah.
Would this be an appropriate time to do connecting the dots to figure out what the fuck's going on?
Sure, you can do it connecting the dots. Yeah, go ahead.
I will send a momentum to connect the dots of what the fuck's wrong with my team.
No, just a case of brain puberty.
I don't actually have to roll. I just,
Yeah, okay. You just get the benefits of it?
yeah, I just spend a momentum,
Cool.
I believe.
Yeah, that's
I
how Cold Raid works too.
Sure, but I believe that's how that works.
I think it lets you take a research action, which does mean you do need to roll. It's just
When confronted with a pattern and complete, can spend 1 memento for a character to make a logical leap, which allows her to gain the results of a single research action immediately. As
Okay, so basically what that means is that research actions are a thing that like take time to do, like they're a downtime thing. So you basically get to take a downtime action. But I do need you to make an Enigmas roll.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Anna seems to be shiny. The scions seem to be shiny.
Hmm.
Let's see here. Use my Parliament Intellect and my Enigmas. That would be 6. Seven. Okay, 1 more.
8 are successes in this system, though.
Yeah, it's 8 and up for this.
Yeah. Gotcha. So only 2 successes, and I get to roll 1. If I can get it to work properly. There it goes. 2.
2 successes. Yeah, you kind of step back a little bit, put some things together, and you start to think about stuff that you had put aside for the night, and you remember like your organization, like the witnesses of Tamrika K, their whole thing is this idea that there are natural psionics. There are people who don't have to be, that there is a way of accessing psionic ability that doesn't require people being dunked in a Prometheus tank. And your organization believes that this is real, that there is a conspiracy keeping it from being keeping it known from the public, that the Psi Orders are in on it, and that is like the core mission of the witnesses, is uncovering this and proving this and bringing natural psionics to the people. If Hannah's resonating the same way as scions are, and you're pretty sure that they have not been put into the Prometheus tank, this might be evidence of natural psionics.
Frankie kind of pauses, and she does this thing often where she's like, looks like she's sussing something out, and it looks like she's irritated the entire time it's happening, and then she cocks her head to the side, and she goes, "Oh, you're fucking kidding me." And she gets
takes a step back from her.
Are you annoyed at one of us or about to start some trouble? I'm in for one of them.
If Hannah allows, she's going to basically move in, like she's going to slow dance with her and put her arms around her, basically the back of her, like this. Yep. Not in a choking manner, but just close.
Yeah, stiffen, but don't pull away.
But she pulls away?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. She goes,
we have.
Are you kidding me right now? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you fucking psionic? Are you one of the fucking natural psionics? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Let's be a little quieter about that, though I do appreciate that your whisper yelling in my face instead of to everyone. No, I was kind of starting to get an inkling that was what was happening too. I don't.
Are you fucking kidding me? They're trying to fucking cover this shit up, and I got one right fucking here in my face. Are you kidding me?
I mean, and at that point I do like, it's not that you got one, that your friend might be one. Let's not be hasty here.
Why didn't you fucking tell me?
Because I didn't know till just now.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. She kind of looks over at Narwhal and Mike. She's like,
oh.
Okay.
God damn it, I'm special.
Mice is just like, cool.
She goes, yeah, so maybe if you don't want to get found out by the other people in the room, maybe you should go down to the lower decks.
Yep. Well, guys, I think I'm going to go see what else this club has to offer.
And she kind of looks over at Narwhal.
Catch you on the other side.
She goes, one of you should stick close to her in case something does happen.
I mean, I don't need a babysitter, but I'd like some company.
I mean, what might something happen? What something happen might?
I don't know. I might see a fascist fucking with the projectors again.
Or
Well, do you want someone who's better equipped to protect you, like Narwhal here, or do you just want someone to hang out with? Because I mean,
Let's hang out.
all
not
right,
gravity of the situation. Okay, fine.
All
You
right.
have someone with you. That's the important part.
I will descend with Hannah.
Okay, you guys head out to the slide area. You can get slooshed down a water slide
Whee!
back into the main club area, where things are like the peak has passed. It's more in like the calm ambient zone, and people are just sort of everyone's just sort of either chilling in the pools, gone out to get drinks, getting hydrated. Um, so it's very calm down here.
She just kind of looks over at Narwhal. She's like, that's a later me problem.
I don't know if that's even it. We're all here just having the experience.
I'll explain later when I have more time and more sober mind to think about things and hopefully not fuck this up. And so I'm going to go schmooze and try to, you know what? I'm going to find someone to get laid with. That's what I want right now because that makes the most sense in my brain. So I'm going to go do that. You're welcome.
The
to
slide,
come
you just
on.
hear me call up. That's your solution to everything. I can't actually hear you. I'm just making some assumptions.
They are correct assumptions. So you want to come, fine. I don't care. Voyeurism, your thing, do it for you. But whatever. I'm going to go try to enjoy this. I'm going to go do this thing. Excuse me.
So when we get back out to the main area, do I still feel the wrongness?
It's give me a psi roll.
Just roll psi?
Yeah.
Oh, nope. Still no successes.
You don't pick up on it.
Well, I'm obviously more relaxed out here, but I'm not entering back into the telepathy stream.
Yeah. But yeah, I
Well.
mean, it is very much, it's a quieter moment in the club, so it's you can definitely find a chill place wherever you want one.
So yeah, I guess if Meister coming with me, let's grab some drinks and find a nice quiet pool to hang out in. See what happens next.
I am 120% into this.
As soon as we're kind of alone, where I don't think anyone here is like, so the reason Frankie was flipping out up there, and maybe we shouldn't talk about this in a crowded place, but she thinks I have Scion type. I don't know what to call it. So,
Yeah.
things
Well,
are
you're
weird.
you're squiggly. Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah, that makes
that's
sense, I
cool.
guess. I guess.
You seem to be handling it pretty well. I mean, I'd be, shitting myself probably.
Yeah. That would
I mean,
make sense.
how do you feel?
Puzzled, a little terrified, because I don't want everybody to find out and react the way Frankie did and put me under a microscope. And a little nervous about having met some high rollers upstairs. So all in all, it's been quite the evening. I don't know how
Yeah.
to feel just now.
Can you tell, like, I mean, is the world different to you? Like, I don't have any basis for experience. One time I tried this one beautiful piece of fungus, and it was kind of like what I imagined being psionic is like, but I don't know. Are colors different? Are sounds different?
It was kind of like that for a moment upstairs when it all kind of hit me at once. Yeah, it was.
Cool.
Yeah, it was actually a lot like that, but a little brighter.
All right. I mean, I'm into that.
I mean, if I figure out how to share.
Sharing is caring, but you gotta just be you, And Frankie, don't worry about Frankie.
I always worry about Frankie.
Frankie's intense,
You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Sometimes you need someone to be intense so you don't have to.
Oh my God, that's an excellent point. So,
All right. We will
Full of
move,
excellent points.
we will move back up to the VIP room, where Frankie is trolling for some strange. And what about Narwhal? What's Narwhal up to up here?
The person who looked like I should be wary of. I'm trying to see if they were like paying attention to me at all, or if they're just doing their own thing.
Yeah, they are. You kind of gravitate over to that zone, and they are in this little alcove grotto, talking with like 3 other people, and they don't seem to be paying attention to anything that's going outside of their little conversation. Go ahead and give me a culture roll.
Two tens. One more 10. So 5 total.
5 total. You kind of get into an angle and kind of try and identify the person, and you check out their face. You kind of check out their figure. You do a quick OpNet search on your comp, and that is a man by the name of Rook Eldrin, and Rook Elgin. And they are a big time media A&R guy, from an Australian entertainment megacorp. And they are amongst the industry pretty famous for, being, a talent scout. Nothing jumps out at you as to why that they would be dangerous or bad for you, but you definitely get the sense that that is a shark.
Okay. Well, as soon as I realize who it is, I try to go out of the water and try to go on and do my performance in front to see if I can get any attention.
Okay, so you're gonna start performing. Now they definitely would not allow you to do your fire stuff in this environment. But what type of with that in mind, how are you gonna perform?
Dancing with some like acrobatics. If there's things to climb up, kind of work that into it.
Okay, all right. Give me an athletics roll.
Most sprightly of narwhals.
Indeed. No.
If we each get individual theme songs, that has to be narwhals.
It's one of my favorites. So I got 4, and let me see what else I have. I have artistic talent,
You can add that, yeah.
so that'd be 5. And then for integrity, I have performance for a
Yeah, that'll add.
thing. So it'd be 6.
Okay. So yeah, so you're specifically trying to get this guy's attention?
Without looking too much, more just dancing, having a good
Okay.
time
So
without
you start doing like
giving the eyeballs.
Cool. So you do start doing this really acrobatic, athletic, like jumping in and out of the water, like timing yourself to the pulses of the light and the music thing. And like when you glance over at it, you do notice that like the conversation in that pit has died down. And like you kind of like half lock eyes with him. He is looking at you. Frankie, what's up? How are you going about? What are you looking for?
Frankie's looking for a good time because
Okay.
Frankie doesn't know how to handle what she just found out. So Frankie's going to do the best she can to not think about it right now.
Okay.
So Frankie is, notices Narwhal performing, doesn't really know why, but she's here for it. He looks good. Let him do his thing. So she's just kind of looking around to see who's up here. That's what her first goal is, to figure out who else is up here. I see the main 3 scions,
Mhm.
but there's other people in the VIP.
Yeah.
So that's what she's looking for.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, give me a culture roll.
3, 4. All right. There's dice roller. 4 of these dice. 1 success.
You're not you recognize the when you look over at where like you see kind of Narwhal's positioned himself, you see the people in that, and you recognize them as media people, but the rest of the people you don't know. Like you're not sure who like there's like 5 other people here other than yourselves, the scions, the media
Mhm.
people. There's like a group of 3 people in one alcove and then a couple in another alcove. And you like swim around and like get a peek into it. And those 5 people you're not sure who they are.
Okay. Well, Frankie does see the media people, and part of her is like, ooh, I want in on that action. But she's like, Narwhal's got this. I'm not going to dim his shine. So she decides to basically, for lack of a better term, I guess, leave, since she's not really seeing anyone of particular interest. So she's going to probably leave Narwhal to impress Homeboy over there, hopefully get us a gig. And she's going to go down into the main area.
Okay. Yeah, you go down to the main area. You find your friend from earlier pretty quickly. They seem to be there having a good time.
If she finds them, that's great, and she'll go hang out with them for right now. But if not, she'll just find someone new. Frankie has a really it's like a Mara flaw where she always picks the worst person in the room to settle up to.
Okay.
So she's going to basically be going headlong into that.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. You sniff out. You start to sniff out around like people who are a bad idea, and you eventually find you find a young man who has the sense of something like of a bad idea.
Excellent.
And you are more than able to chat him up. He has a couple of he buys you 2 a couple of drinks, and he pulls out a little like a durable little flask, and he says, "I'm gonna make mine more interesting. Do you want to make yours more interesting?"
And Frankie just gives a wide grin always.
All right, and the tequila goes into the drinks.
Oh yeah, no, she is going down with her bad idea tonight.
Fantastic. All right, so you pair off with that. So you finish up with your dance, Narwhal, and one of the people in the little media alcove, like you go and you get a drink to rehydrate, and one of the media people comes out of the alcove and comes up to you. It's a very kind of a masculine looking woman in a sort of a sports swimsuit. She says, "Quite a dance. You're pretty skilled."
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm just, out here at my first Bang event, having a great time, and just felt like going out there and doing it.
Well, you got a lot of natural talent. Ever think about going into the biz?
Oh, yeah. I'm part of a group called Wonder Root. We're actually trying to get our own little thing going on with it.
Really? Well, my boss, she kind of motions over that, is always interested in meeting new talent. She pulls out like a little digital ID card and says like, "Why don't you give us a call? We don't do business while we're playing. We don't mix business and pleasure. But if you got a group and you got some skills, give us a call. We'll see what we can put together."
All right, go ahead and get that information, put it in my bio comp, be like, I'll give you a call after this, but enjoy the rest of the show.
Hell yeah. Well, I think it's about to die down, so I think we're probably gonna head out. And she says, we'll talk later.
Will do.
And she goes and swims back to her alcove, and a couple seconds later, they all come out, swim over to the exit, and right before they do, Rook kind of turns over and just gives you a wink.
We'll head
Good
back.
time.
All right.
All right, and they go down the chute. Shortly thereafter, the group of scions get together and they leave, and head out. And the intensity of the lights is starting to dim down, gets more go less multicolored, and bringing more like soft whites into the area, and the music is starting to calm down and play out, and there's a slight refrain of an old classic tune, closing time, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Starts to just like tinkle through the music.
Oh, classical music.
Yeah,
Nice.
classical, about 100
Yeah,
years.
stuffy old songs
about
about closing down the bar.
200 years ago. But yeah, so people start to mill out. People start to get out of the pools. Get like there's like stacks of towels handed out, and yeah, you guys are able to reconvene while things are calming down. Frankie, are you gonna leave with this guy, or are you gonna hook back up with your friends?
I mean, do my friends look like they want to do something? Like, she's trying to read the situation. Like, what we doing?
Well, I'd kind of like to talk. Hannah kind of looks over you like, please, I'll catch your eye across the room when you're with the guy. I'm like, please have mercy on me. Look.
Frankie basically is going to spend some time with him while the music's kind of dying down, and then do her little flouncy thing where she starts moving away. Like,
can I get your number?
Sure. She kind of pauses. I don't usually get that one. And she's
like, well, clearly you got stuff to do, so I'm not going to try and monopolize your time, but hey, maybe some other time.
Pretty cute. What's your name?
Oh, my name's Ricardo. I live over in Fado.
Does she know what Fado is?
Yeah, Fado's a district in Olympus. It's a Sud-American district.
Is that her dad's district?
No, it's not a dad's district.
She has Valentine, and she just reaches over, and basically, if he offers out his device, she'll put her number in.
Yeah, cool. I'll call you later.
Yeah, you do that.
And he says, he like, well, and he gets like another drink, and then like pulls out 3 more vials, hands one of them to you, and then pours the other 2 into the drink, and then downs it.
Like, yeah, she takes it like a shot.
He's like, all right, it's much better mixed, but you do you. So he downs that, and he kind of like lumbers up and starts heading towards the exit, grabs a towel.
It is very clear she is very used to shooting alcohol by itself. As she like walks over to the group, she clearly has tequila on her breath, and she's kind of like smiles.
Had a good time?
Could have been better.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the party's kind of over. Can we go somewhere private? We can go back to mine if y'all want to hang out.
Yeah, we should.
Can we get some food on the way? I could eat something.
You could always eat something, but
yeah,
really good, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys eventually make your way out of the club. You dry off. You get get back to your lockers, get your stuff. There is a number of like food cart style establishments that have moved in to the to the entrance area because they know what's up. Where various street food can be acquired. And yeah, it's pretty still packed. Like there's a lot of people like getting their stuff and milling around this area. The show let out a little earlier than most Bang shows do, but then again, it was way more intense than most Bang shows. So people still have a lot of energy.
How much time did this Bang show take?
This Bang show took about little under 2 hours.
Okay.
It's much more like a Bang shows can last anywhere from like a concert length to like a half-hour show, or there's a lot of variability in how long a Bang show or experience can last.
Frankie kind of links her arm through Mice's. Is it okay if I call your character Mice, or would you prefer
Absolutely.
Mice? Okay. She links her arm through Mice and she gestures. She goes, "The world is your oyster, my friend. What would you like?"
Oh my God, oysters. No, maybe not oysters. Something on a skewer.
There are so many kebabs and street foods, skewer
I
foods.
mean, there might be oysters on the skewer.
There could be, yeah.
They are at the, what is this, clamshell? Probably someone that.
Oh yeah, there's mussels and mollusks and crustaceans galore. Some of it's even real.
Mollusk skewers
Ew.
for all. We'll acquire some
Yeah, you guys
mollusks.
Sip
too.
for me, please.
That is very easy to get. But yeah, so you guys get some skewer food, hang out. There's still a lot of people milling out. What's your plan?
Are any of the posters still hanging in about?
Yeah, there are still a couple up.
She kind of like walks over to one, kind of plucks it off the wall, looking at it with disdain, and then walks back over and hands it to Narwhal. Here.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to do was ask my agent to go look on social media about the silver nugget.
Your agent comes back very quickly and says like, it's an FSA bar and music venue in one of the FSA sectors. Caters to a lot of working class and law enforcement types.
Ew.
And assholes.
And assholes.
I said law enforcement.
She said law enforcement.
It's like a Venn diagram.
Yeah, it is.
Oh. Sort of a bullseye.
I assume you all want to look into that eventually. I just don't want to forget where we're supposed to go look into this at.
Absolutely.
This seems like a thing that you guys would be very interested in. That's why, look, I pay attention to what you guys like.
I mean, I'd rather roll around in gravel than go there, but seems like it might be worth finding out at some point.
Kids like that.
What was that?
That was some detailed shit. Kids don't think like that. So, I mean, if you want to get to the bottom of what their new tricks are going to be, then yeah, we should definitely go look at that.
Like right now?
No.
Okay. Thank God.
I think I want to
Tomorrow problems.
Kill my buzz. No, I just figured we'd like head back to your place or something.
Yeah. Let's do that.
We
We
definitely
could
want
talk about your experience if you want,
Yeah, once we're there.
away from
Is there
all
a
this.
hard drink like food cart?
Hmm?
Is there like a hard drink food cart?
Oh yeah,
got
there's not really, there's not like spirits, but there is like a beer cart.
There's beers in my place, probably.
We're hitting a liquor store. Beer is for people who can't drink liquor.
Okay. Sure.
All right, so yeah, you guys start to head out from the area. You have your your mullet skewers in hand, filling your bellies. You guys get to that sort of area where there's the two different passageways that leads to the dock and one to the area, and it is still very packed. You got a lot of the people leaving the club area, and you're pretty sure that maybe like a shift just got off at the dock. So this is kind of wall to wall people, like just sort of milling out from the dock areas back to the train station. And it is just very, very crowded. Kind of get jostled a little bit.
Frankie is very vocal if someone jostles under her. Frankie is short, so Frankie gets mouthy.
Why don't we could just wait out the crowd in the cafe over there or something?
I'm down.
Mice, give me. I need a roll from you. Give me a technology roll.
Okay. Two successes.
Yeah, you're looking through the crowd, and you see kind of like a flicker of something over by the train area. Like it's very brief. It's like sort of this translucent figure that moves through the crowd and gets onto a train.
Something ghostly.
You know, I wasn't gonna say it, but
I mean, mice, for all of their spaciness, does remember things. So, I'm gonna try to like pinpoint exactly which car. So, like, did anybody else see that there was a? Did you see that?
yeah.
No, but I was saying that earlier, so I believe you saw it. Is there something we should look into?
Well, it would take too long to explain, but yes.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start heading towards that.
So yeah, you have to press through a lot of people, and it's very difficult to stay together through all these people. Like there are a lot of like the club kids are generally kind of easygoing. Most of them are really tired, but you are mostly confronted with dock workers who really want to get the fuck home. So not a lot of people are giving you ground.
Can I use like a free running and presence to try to open up the hazards for my group to move through?
You can probably make yourself there. If you want to give me an athletics roll to try and see if you can make an opening.
Tempted to try crowd surfing, but this is probably the wrong group.
No, you would get
No,
dropped.
they'll drop
You
you.
would get dropped
Yeah.
immediately.
The instinct is there,
Mhm.
Two successes.
Yeah. It is real difficult. You're definitely able to get yourself through the crowd, but there's just too many people here, and it's too crowded, and they're too determined. Eventually, you guys do kind of start making your way close to the train, and Mice, you like with a little bit of like determination because you know exactly kind of where you're headed. You manage to like push your way a little forward, and you get right up to the train, and you look into the car and you see her there. Like you see this womanly figure, very translucent, kind of like almost. You see her reflected in the glass of the train car, more than you see her there, and like your friends are like maybe like 10 people back as the doors start to close.
Moment of truth. Can I very quickly tell if anyone else on the train seems to be aware of her?
Give me an empathy roll.
All right. Would my specialty in group dynamics apply here at all?
No.
Okay. That is no successes.
Yeah, they're
All
all, as best as you could tell, they're all in their little worlds. And like as you are kind of looking in, trying to see if anybody else sees her, you just like sort of see, you catch like a clearer image of the woman's face as you see like tears start to run down her face in the reflection of the glass. And please step away from the
all right.
doors. The doors.
I'm
are
going
closed.
for it.
I send you a quick text. We'll catch up to you. Tell us where you are.
Yeah.
Tell us where,
I'm on
tell
the
us where you
train.
end up.
All right,
Yeah.
you get on the
Yeah.
train.
Be like, meet you at Hannah's.
All right, so the doors close as Mice gets onto the train and the maglev train shoots off, and the rest of you are left with a crowd of people in an empty station. And that is where we're going to stop for this evening. All right, so that was our first game of Luna Rocks. Did everyone have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. So we're going to go over XP real quick. We're going to be going based off the aspiration system. So let me find that. All right. So we're just going to go down the list real quick. Did anyone achieve a short-term aspiration?
I wanted to go to a Muzzy and Bang show.
Well, there you go.
Achieved.
There you go.
All right. So if you have done that, then you get 1 XP. Did anyone else achieve a short-term aspiration?
I got both of mine.
Okay, so you got 2 of yours. Okay, so
Yeah, I got perform at an event and meet someone, a big name in the scene.
Okay, you absolutely did that. What about Mice or Frankie?
I will be honest and say I forgot to pick mine, so I didn't get any of mine.
Well, there you go. All right, well then that automatically means that you don't get the group one for everyone achieving a short-term aspiration. Did anyone, unlikely, but did anyone achieve a long-term aspiration?
Not picked a long-term aspiration yet.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, now that I know I'm psychic, it'll probably be something around that.
Oh, probably. Yeah. You guys did spend quite a bit of momentum, so I will give you all 1 for spending half the available momentum in a single scene. And I will also give you all 1 for achieving a story milestone, because the beginning of a story is a milestone in and of itself.